how could I measure our innovation efforts differently? I'm working in finance administration. Oh, that sounds fun. And I'm responsible for producing the weekly reports. How can we measure innovation? Oh yeah, good one. I've never had a finance person asking about how can we measure innovation. I mean, coming from finance, you're mainly cost driven. You focus on cost measurements from A to Z. I think that's one part of the equation. The bigger part for me is innovation is all about people. People make innovation happen or not happen. So it's you need to find out what are the different measurements you can get from the organization which are about people. And there, I mean, it's just basics. If you have input metrics and output metric, input is kind of these are the hours you put in, and output is that is what you're producing. If we just take basics, understand what different mechanics and people numbers you have in your organization that help you to measure. In the best case, daily, because if you have a daily perspective on certain things, then it will help you to measure it and then as well get a trend on where you're going. Similar, most probably, like you do with your cost reporting. Another important part, I'm always taking a triangle perspective where I say, what is your leading KPI? What is your leading KPI when it comes to innovation? Maybe one KPI for innovation doesn't make sense at all. Most of the time, one KPI for a total organization doesn't make sense because you need to bring context into that KPI. But breaking then this KPI down into specific projects and or results that people are going forward. Let's say you have an innovative project that is about creating new revenue streams. So then, of course, that's again a cost-driven aspect that comes out. But maybe these revenue streams, due to the validation process and innovation process you do, are not coming within the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months, depending on what the project is about. So yes, that's maybe a leading KPI from a future success perspective, but it's not about a leading KPI that gets you into understanding what you have validated. So it's really about, I mean, going really basics, like what assumptions do you have and how do you validate them and how you do disqualify what's not working and getting the customer feedback or client feedback as fast as possible. So it's really about sitting down with your innovation colleagues on a project base. I would start on a project basis, like what projects do you have, what initiatives do you have, and what are the key KPIs. If they don't have KPIs, then it's difficult, but normally they should have, and then really bring that KPIs into your metrics and try to find out, really use innovation thinking with that people, key part of that, and then look into what can you validate as building the reporting that works and what that doesn't work. So it's not about having it perfect. With, let's say, dollar signs and with money, it's slightly different because you always need to be perfect when it comes to these things, or at least that's what the CFOs want you to be. Another part I have learned, which is quite helpful, learn how you translate intangible things from an innovation perspective. Let's say validated ideas. Yeah, nobody who is not working in innovation will understand that. How do you translate this into, one thing is numbers, and second thing is how do you translate that into the lingo of the organization? So an example, when I was working in retail in IKEA, long time ago, 2008 or something, we translated energy savings into sofas sold. That, I mean, it has nothing to do with innovation, but it was kind of translating something that's intangible for people that are working in retail to sofas sold. Everyone knows what in if we take IKEA as the example, everyone knows what's the most expensive sofa which is to be sold in that store. If you translate that, hey, we need to have 20 of these sofas every day, they will understand that better than if you say, hey, we need to save 200,000 kilowatt hours energy or whatever. So it's really about how can you translate that is relevant for the people you work with. And then, of course, for if we talk CFO and you work in the finance, then it's all about euros or dollars or currencies and efficiency on that one. And if you then talk to other people in the organizations about other topics as well, like sofas sold, whatever the business is about. So really try to find out what is that and how it can help you.